It's Rory Christ out here at the Pecan Festival. You can catch me at Rory Christ on Instagram. You can catch Mr. 53 behind the camera at Mr. 53 on Instagram. We at the Pecan Festival. We gonna get this thing, put it on blast. Like bim, bim, bim. You watching Magic Video, know that.
Live and direct from the internet. What did you expect? For the last 29 years, Magic Video has set the bar for local stars to discover who they are. Have you shining like a diamond? You can see from afar. For all the locals, let's just check out some vocals. A couple tracks, we'll be back, cause Kendrick Stanley is local. Yeah, I gotta go though. Fontaine on the intro. But you stay tuned to the Magic Video show. Let's go.
What up, all you hip hoppers and collar poppers, beboppers and peacockers, DJs, rappers, backpackers and slack jackers, computer hackers and carjackers, pimps, prostitutes, tutti fruits and tight suits. It's your boy Smacky Stallone, smack over the dirty worms, and you watching Magic Video.
What's up with it, y'all? It's your girl Queen Dealer, and you're watching Magic Video.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of Magic Video. I am your host, Jarrod Dixon. Hope y'all are ready for another great show. Hope you all have had a great week and weekend. You know, we're going to get it cracking for you. I want to make just, a quick little announcement, man. Make sure everybody knows about the artists that we have for Artists of the Year. Y'all are going to our Instagram, magic_video_TV, and screenshot and tagging the artists, tagging us, and voting for these people. We're gonna have a couple new entries and new contenders hitting the show today. So I hope y'all like them, watch them. Like I said, if y'all like them, make sure you tag the artists, tag us, and we'll make sure the vote counts. You can always tag me at the real Jarrod Dixon on Instagram as well as on Twitter. So tag me, and I'll make sure you get your vote in and it counts. So on today's show, I brought my boy in, Sinatra. We're gonna sit down and talk to him, dig off into his mind. If you've been following his movement, you see his team has put out a lot of new stuff. So we want to see what's going on with them and what they've been up to. We're gonna go ahead and get the show started with Ugly God and Batman. He's one of our contenders. So if y'all like this video, make sure y'all tag him and vote for him, yo. Magic Video, we'll be right back with your entertainment news, man. Sit tight.
My life is awesome. I'm a fan of cherry blossoms. I like Michael Jackson as well as his dancing, writing songs. Makes me happy. I like Harry Potter, although it's just a fantasy. But Black history is more important to me. And I know Martin Luther is right beside me. My dream goes just like this. I got a Cadillac, and I'm driving through the country, get some ice cream. I don't care about my money. My dog is white, and my cat is black. But color doesn't matter, why you worried about that? I got a Cadillac, and I'm driving through the country, get some ice cream. I don't care about my money. My dog is white and my cat is black. But color doesn't matter, why you worried about that? I like Star Wars, not a real war. Travel to LA, wasn't fame the play. The planet is important to me. So people, no more cutting down trees. Environment safety worries me. And I know Obama Park and King are right beside me. My dream continues just like this. I got a Cadillac, and I'm driving through the country, get some ice cream. I don't care about my money. My dog is white and my cat is black. But color doesn't matter, why you worried about that? I got a Cadillac, and I'm driving through the country, get some ice cream. I don't care about my money. My dog is white and my cat is black. But color doesn't matter, why you worried about that? England, got slaves to Canada. Girls, Malalas getting an education for ya. These people, role models for others. All brothers, all sisters, with different mothers. Black history will always be remembered by me. And I know Martin Luther is right beside me. My dream goes forever, just like this. I got a Cadillac, and I'm driving through the country, get some ice cream. I don't care about my money. My dog is white and my cat is black. But color doesn't matter, why you worried about that? I got a Cadillac, and I'm driving through the country, get some ice cream. I don't care about my money. My dog is white and my cat is black. But color doesn't matter, why you worried about that? I got a Cadillac, you got a Cadillac. I got a Cadillac, we all got a Cadillac. I got my ice cream, you got your ice cream. I got my ice cream, we all got our ice cream. I got a Cadillac, you driving through the country. I got a Cadillac, don't care about my money. I got a Cadillac.
The entertainment news with your boy Jarrod Dixon. Like I said, it's gonna be real brief. Starting on Tuesday, October the 1st at 11 a.m. to 12:30. The business orientation is going to be taking place over at the Windsor Park Library. That's over there off 5833 Westminster Drive, hosted by the City of Austin. You know, I like to try to give y'all some tips and stuff, man. If you're not familiar with them, they provide a general overview of opening a small business or reevaluating an existing business during its growth. So, the City of Austin Small Business Association, they give you guys a lot of good information for the free, and that is a free thing you can go check out. For more information, just log onto their website, man. Small Business Organization, just Google it, something like that, here in Austin. Then on Wednesday, out there at Midtown Live, hosted by Poppy Cannon as well as Go DJ LL, we have the Whoopsie Wednesday karaoke. So make sure y'all go, man. If you like to do some dope karaoke, sing, act a fool, just come out and have a good time, man. Go check that out over at Midtown. Then also on Wednesday night, following that at 10 p.m., we had a Butter and Jam Vibe Sessions. You know, I always like to tell you guys about that every week. If you're an up-and-coming musician, if you're a currently working musician, man, you just want to be around some more musicians, network, and rub some elbows, get to know some more people out here that's doing what you do, go check that out. That's at 10 p.m. over at Dozen Street or right there on 12th and Chicon. Then on Thursday, if y'all aren't familiar with the music festival that's coming in town, it's jumping off Thursday night. Austin's own Gary Clark Jr. is going to be performing over at Stubbs at 7 p.m. Like I said, that's Thursday, October the 3rd. Man, go show the hometown hero some love. You know, he's been on the road doing his thing, man, putting on for the city real big. So go check that show out. Then Friday night, October the 4th, 9 p.m. over at Anton's, rapper Pink Sweats is going to be in town doing a show. So I think it'll be a pretty dope show, man. Check it out, you know. If you like hip-hop, that's your thing, man. It's going to be a lot of great artists in the city doing their thing, man. Then on next Saturday, October the 5th, this one's real big for the city, man. The dude, hip-hop legend 50 Cent, is going to be in the city doing his thing. He's going to be over at Rio Austin hosting the party that night. Like I said, that's Saturday, October the 5th. For tickets, check out eventbrite.com and everything like that, man, to get your tickets for that event. That's going to be real live and real dope for the city, man. Y'all should come out and support that. So, and as always, like I tell you, man, for any events, anything like that I might have missed, check out soulcity.com. That's SOULCITI.com, as well as theaustonsocialite.com. They'll keep you up to date on all the events and the different things that's happening around the city. So, all right, man, we're going to go ahead and jump back into our show. We're going to have another contender, my dude Smackola. Y'all already know, a good friend of the show. His video, Glass Sky. If you like it, get your vote on, man. And we'll be right back with Pope Sinatra. Sit tight.
Land of the D's, home of economic slaves. AI intelligence, welcome to the world stage. All your life you've been force-fed false lies. Open your eyes and realize you're living under the glass sky. And everything ain't what it seems. You've been living the illusion of a lucid dream. It's all the same scheme with religious themes. It's all by design to keep you caught between. Is this fiction or non-fiction? Are you a Christian or non-Christian? So many stories of allegories and contradictions, but it's all controlled by the same system, but ain't nobody listen. The television got their minds twisted. Propaganda overload, media control mind addictions. Creating you a new prescription. They got the paperwork on them patents. You know they got similar intentions. Stop fucking with these politicians. They putting on a show like by the same fucking corporate interests. Big business is a new prison, all owned by the same system. Y'all better wake up. Just because you believe what they told you don't make it true. Too many glitches in the system. They never landed on the moon. They told you that the earth was a globe. While you drinking fluoride water cold. You play the role, but they control how you see yourself. Just live your life as you. Don't let them convince you to want to be anyone else. Program reality shows. Generation me, I'm so and so. Do anything for money, even sell they soul. But they brain dead. Too many GMOs, they hit the flow. When them struggles in low, watch them start jigging in this bitch like it's dinner time. Ain't no mind to the future, present time. As long as the club lit up on liquor, it's gonna be going down. I guess y'all don't see it. They stole the culture and they now they control our positions and dumbing us down with our own social conditions. Bringing in drugs, now we buying guns. Wake up, look at what they did to us. And these blood suckers don't give a fuck about us. This is Project Money, Jack Trap, nobody saving us. Let your black boys dying in the streets. We killing each other, even murdered by the police. We need peace. Praying ain't never worked for me until I got up off my knees and started praying on my feet. I'm up. Land of the thieves, home of economic slaves. AI intelligence, welcome to the world stage. All your life you've been force-fed false lies. You better realize you under the glass sky. Welcome to the Terror Dome. We living in the war zone. United Snakes of America. We ain't free this here corporation dome. Population control, this is the greed for power. Over dimes ago, infiltrated the system, created a planet for the Anunnaki bloodline. But the beast reptilian, we can no longer ignore it. Blue beam light dreams, so don't fall for it. Question authority, better use your voice. These mass distractions, don't let them take your swords. With these terror acts subliminals, they manufacture your desires and then turn a criminal. Trapped in a paradigm, living in a paradox. Somebody better wake up the sheep. I'm only trying to tell them the truth, but then they turned against me. Too much empathy, gone, no sympathy. I see humans, but no humanity. All for the profit of war, now that's insanity. Divide and conquer, political and spiritual. They turn your whole world around, spherical. Stop believing them lies, we down deep beneath the floodgates of the glass straw.
West, I connect to my south side liquor. Hustle hard leader, coming out your speaker. Still spitting game, I'm gonna make you a believer. Latina soul, how to done caught me a fever. From a bad little mama that's no man theater. Up in the club, I'm gonna find me a keeper. A freak for a week until the next time I see ya. Over to my room, yeah, come on. Let your
Thank you for stopping in, bro.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me, man.
Man, so since the last time I saw you, man, I think we had MOD, the whole team on here with you. What have you been doing, man? What are you up to?
Man, the question is what I ain't doing, man. I'm branching into film. I'm doing comedy now. I'm doing music all over the place. I'm pulling artists and trying to make stuff work. I was, family done set up a trust fund for up-and-coming musicians that want to go to college and want to try to advance their career musically with instruments and things like that, because it's real hard now to say that you can run out and run into very, very, college-educated musicians.
Correct.
So we want to give this opportunity to people that, want to actually pursue this and want to actually take it somewhere, want to actually play for an orchestra or something maybe one day.
Oh, that's very dope. That's very dope, man. So, music-wise, man, I see you have been just, like, killing it with content, man. You've been pumping out a lot of stuff, man. So
yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm almost like Prince a little bit, but not like with all the androgyny. You understand what I'm saying? but I got a catalog is what I'm trying to say. I got a super catalog.
So what's your most recent one? I think I saw, man, because like you dropped a lot of stuff, man. Like,
the last one, the most recent is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Me and LL was going through old songs and sifting, and LL was like, oh man, well, we ain't used this yet, and we ain't used this yet, and we ain't used this yet, and it kind of came together.
You got a lot of content, bro. Like, yo, you like, man, we ain't used this and that.
B-sides, what they used to call it, like, when cassette tapes exist, they're like the B-side content.
Yeah.
Well, we got a lot of B-side content. So he decided to make an advancement on it and push it out there. For now, it's A-side content for everybody to enjoy.
Nice. And that's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, I think I know I've heard it, man, and it's a very well put together project, man. I appreciate that. So now, besides that, man, like, what's to expect, man? Like, what? Talk to me, man.
Well,
tell me what you doing, man. I'm gonna be nosy.
Well, in the up and coming months, I'm arranging a competition where I'm gonna be relinquishing this freestyle King of Austin belt. I got this belt long time ago because I had went on like a 50-0 freestyle streak. And this was back before people got an opportunity to go and study and practice and Google you and find out about your parents' debts and all this other stuff, and then go in the mirror and get a chance to practice themselves rapping. This is when you had no full awareness whatsoever of who your opponent was, and you would walk into a room and they would be like, okay, y'all two go. And then it would be you having to dissect this person right then at that moment. That's when, battling was a big thing for me because I was real good at it. And I got up to 50 wins, and then when I got to my 50th win, I just stopped.
Like Floyd just said.
Lennox, I was done with the belt. Y'all gonna have to relinquish this to a Klitschko or something after this, because I'm retiring from this.
Yeah. Very dope. So now, you gonna put the belt up, man. Freestyle competition. Y'all hear that, artist? So y'all make sure y'all follow him, man. At His Eminence on Instagram, man. Follow him. What's it on Facebook? I forgot it right off the top of my head. But y'all, because that's gonna be dope for the city, man. Like, to be honest, hasn't been much of that right now. I know there's a lot of people that y'all rap. Y'all seen a lot of these guys come on the show, but I'm like him. I'd love to see a freestyle battle, man. See if you can really hold your own, go up against them bar for bar. That's pretty dope, man. I like that.
Appreciate it, man.
So what else you gonna be doing, man? What else you got?
I'm working out something with a guy that's, fingers crossed, that's tied into Netflix, and I'm trying to get together a couple of films. And a couple of them are based on, experiences in my life, but a couple of them are based on some stuff that we had did some research and found out about, and they are actually interested in the pilot script. So what I'm gonna do is put the real script together, get it to these people, and hopefully, if it's a green light, start casting around the city, start shooting around the city and stuff. I want to kind of make it as much Austin-based as possible because people come and film in Austin all the time, and we're extras in these films, but not many opportunities have came along to where a lot of people are just completely all the way starring in these films. Like a lot of my cousins were in a whole bunch of different little football films around here. The Faculty and the
Friday Night Lights,
yeah,
all that stuff.
you know,
I remember that.
a couple of other different little movies like The Wrong Guy, all this other stuff that came around here, and there's never really been opportunities for these people to get a spotlight all the way through where it's just them. So I want to try to angle that for people that are actually taking this seriously and want this opportunity, but can't just jump up and go to California and wait tables and end up meeting the director and going from that point there.
True, yeah, because I dabble in that a little bit, so I already know exactly what you're talking about, creating more opportunities, man. So it sounds like you really tapping into this entertainment market here in the city. It's like you're doing music, you're going to films, like evolving, man.
Yeah.
I like to hear that.
I also was asked to do a stand-up. I'm going to do a stand-up in a couple months, and I'll make the announcement where I'm going to do this stand-up, because a good friend of mine, Tamika Moore, and a good friend of mine, Bob Fresh, they are throwing these, improv, stand-ups in random places, and they came to me once and they were like, "Oh man, you just naturally funny. Why don't you try, to do jokes and do the stand-up with us one time?" And I was like, "Okay, well I ain't gonna write nothing down. I'm just gonna come in there drunk. I'm just gonna whatever come out from that point, you just gotta accept it from that point." And they were like, "Well, we can't wait." So I'm getting the details for it now, and when I get more details, I'll be sure to let everyone know.
Man, that's dope, man. Y'all hear that, man? See, y'all heard me mention it. A few other guys on the show have mentioned it. Diversifying and finding more than just one thing to do, man, because there's so many ways to get paid in this industry. There's so many ways you can help yourself, explore your creativity. You don't have to just be a rapper on the mic. You can be a writer, you can be a comedian, you can be all three, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many ways to get to it, man, in this industry, man. You don't have to just limit yourself in your thinking, just thinking, oh, I have to make it rapping, man. Start a clothing line, brand something, things like that, man. So now we're gonna jump into one of your videos here in a couple minutes, man. It's the one you shot, Creamy. So okay. I'm sure you remember that. So now, for those that aren't familiar with the video, man, what was your motivation and inspiration behind this video, man?
The reality of it was we had done like a whole bunch of work with Wu-Tang Radio and a couple of different members of the Wu family during South by a couple of years ago, and we were discussing along lines with one of our producers, like, oh man, we used to love when Cream came on and this, that, and on a whim, he didn't even really was doing it to try to make it about that and this, but it just came out that way. Mm-hmm. And he ended up creating like his version of what a modernized Cream would sound like. Nice. And I kind of took it as an opportunity to kind of school people on the fact that not only do we listen to all forms of rap down here, but for the information list, people that don't know where these ideas and a lot of this stuff came from, and to be completely honest with you, to solidify the acknowledgement of one of the biggest hip hop brands that ever existed. Yeah. Everybody that we don't think know who Wu-Tang is know who Wu-Tang is.
True, yeah.
And it's crazy when you start to talking to them, and I was rapping with Cap and rapping with Nine Prince and rapping with a couple of other cats, and they were telling me about all these different places that they go and how people in the newer generation aren't aware of all the pioneering achievements that they done.
Yeah.
And I was sitting up there like, well, maybe we give them kind of a tutorial, kind of a from a fan perspective.
Oh, nice. And they do just so happen to have a movie that just recently dropped, man. So, yeah, no, like I said, I've seen the video. It is real Cream-esque. Like, it's real gritty. And if you remember the original, it's real gritty and grimy. It looked like they had an old school handheld camcorder shooting it or something. So, we're going to jump into it. It's with his partners, MOD, Money on Delivery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we'll sit tight, man. We're going to be back with a lot more from Pope Sinatra. I still have a bunch more questions.
Your bank account screaming in agony.
nigga. I master killer slang on a nigga. I said Hall of Fame on a nigga. Get up my change on a nigga. My own lane on a nigga. Pockets for the 4 by the figures. Ain't nothing to fuck with. One is in the bar, missing critter. If he hating on my ritual, I see the lame on you nigga. I will knock a blade on a nigga. Buck 50 your face with a RZA. If I have to aim on you nigga, go to firearm you God. He gon' need a iron lung, cause I had to bring the pain on a nigga. Shame on a nigga. My own rank game on a nigga. My tank was got a gang on a nigga. I take sole blame on a nigga. James St. Patrick, bastard, showtime. I will bang bang with a trigger. Loud made swords of liquids. It's genius how I rain on a nigga. Y'all shimmy shimmy. I go against the grain on a nigga. Rich and famous, antique, farm equipment, Texas, Rick James on a nigga. Deck inspected, net protected, and my youngest grave diggers. We an army full of killers, built for Cuban link chains on a nigga.
Cash rules everything around me, y'all. Around me, dawg. Around me, y'all. Cash rules everything around me, y'all. Around me, dawg. Around me, y'all. Cash rules everything around me, y'all. Around me, dawg. Around me, y'all. Cash rules everything around me, y'all. Around me, dawg. Around me, y'all.
Grinding for all my shit. Jamaican chick, dirty wine on that dick. Try to throw these niggas a lifesaver. Fuck it, let them drown in that bitch. But you ain't finna disrespect me. I beat that ass lethal weapon 3 gently. Wait, but I think that was number 4. Well, you can get it in the credits, nigga. Let me know. Hey, Pope, hey, they got a nigga hype, nigga. Jazz Jeff, I'm out the game, take flight, nigga. Out of Pappy, deal with it. That's life, nigga. Timberline with LeBron James, right, nigga. Flyer than easy bike, nigga. I'm the greatest like Jordan. I kill them like Myers. They biting like Tyson, all mics, nigga. Woo! Yeah, niggas thinking they hotter now. Cause a few girls said they like your song. You took it to the head like Tylenol. You just stuntin'. Half of them girls is your cousin. You claim you a B-list celebrity. I clipped them wings and now you ain't buzzing.
Cash rules everything around me, y'all. Around me, dawg. Around me, y'all. Cash rules everything around me, y'all. Around me, dawg. Around me, y'all. Cash rules everything around me, y'all. Around me, dawg. Around me, y'all. Cash rules everything around me, y'all. Around me, dawg. Around me, y'all.
Nigga, fuck boy, he bark hard in the lane boys. He don't even make your poo moist. Game my lane, that's your choice. Drill niggas will rejoice. 5 9s in a Rolls Royce. One like Lisa Ray McCoy. Start shit hell in a Troy. I'm on a mouse like Almond Joy. I'm in her guts like sex toys. Her ex dude wanna bring the noise. Don't know I shoot. Brandon Roy. Google the hood, the reporting good. The heel say that boy ain't right. Blow smoking niggas that we don't like. Go Cam Brady, I fuck your wife. Come around, I'll put some dick in her life. She feeling great, high as a kite. Black Widow all on my website. Want me and her boy to fight. Live it wet, she rock my mic. You mad you married the village bike. You hear my voice inside your head when you lay down with her every night. I will go dumb instant and I have no understanding. I'll show you what time it is with proper moves and planning. The homies call me Drome and I call the homie Cannon. And with that being said, I will have no understanding for a pussy nigga, fuck boy, pussy nigga, fuck boy, pussy nigga, fuck boy, you a pussy nigga, fuck boy, pussy nigga, fuck boy, pussy nigga, fuck boy, pussy nigga, fuck boy, you a pussy nigga, fuck boy,
pussy nigga, fuck boy, fuck with me, get deployed. I the master ass Leroy, I'm a real ass nigga, no decoys. Y'all be talking that shit, be a head nigga, hat don't fit. I get pussy, you fuck boys. Ren and Stimpy, niggas can't stand me. Make look awkward when I shoot, but I still Nicky Marcus camping. Nigga kiss my ass with your tongue out. I receive you, girl, when I run routes. Y'all niggas is weird, like a kangaroo with no pouch. Y'all behinds, catch up, won't stop, won't let up. I'm from Austin, I got powers, my pockets on fat bastard.
I will go dumb instant and I have no understanding. I show you what time it is with proper moves and planning. The homies call me Drome and I call the homie Cannon. And with that being said, I will have no understanding for a pussy nigga, fuck boy, pussy nigga, fuck boy, pussy nigga, fuck boy, you a pussy nigga, fuck boy, pussy nigga, fuck boy, pussy nigga, fuck boy, pussy nigga, fuck boy, you a pussy nigga, fuck boy. I'm all about is calling out niggas who left the game ruined. Slap the shit out of a trick. For the fight, I will do it. You all about studs and thoughts. Working well with the cops. 45, I call a needle. For the people, I got your shots. Rude boy, bumper clot. Remove all of your dreadlocks. Pulling holes off in your rental. That's the definition of a red box. Pussy nigga, fuck boy. Damn right, ain't shot him. Talking, get that ass kicked. And I call that shit a red bottom. Tricking off all they dough on back page. Buying pros, MTO, these niggas hoes. Gavels drop, cases closed. Hard after you treat your nose. Whoop these pussies up out the codes. TMZ, these niggas hoes. Gavels drop, cases closed. I will go dumb instant and I have no understanding. I show you what time it is with proper moves and planning. The homies call me Drome and I call the homie Cannon. And with that being said, I will have no understanding for a pussy nigga, fuck boy, pussy nigga, fuck boy, pussy nigga, fuck boy, you a pussy nigga, fuck boy, pussy nigga, fuck boy, pussy nigga, fuck boy, pussy nigga, fuck boy, you a pussy nigga, fuck boy.
All right. Hope y'all enjoyed those videos. Like I said, that's Creamy as well as PNFB by Poppy Cannon. Make sure y'all vote for those. Like I said, those are two of the contenders as well, man. Go to Magic_Video_TV on Instagram as well as on Twitter. Tag us, tag him, Pope Sinatra at His Eminence, as well as Money on Delivery at Money on Delivery 512. Tag them, man. And that's your vote. Like I said, you can always tag me, let me know. I'll make sure to count those votes and stuff for them too. So now we kind of said talking about your influence and inspiration, man. You were talking about the Wu and who else, man? Because like I said, I've listened to your stuff, you know what I mean, and I already know like you have a lot of different sounds, man. I can hear a lot of different influences from Busta Rhymes, like you said, Wu-Tang, a lot of different stuff, man. So who's some artists that have inspired you, man, to create the kind of content you've been putting out?
Oh man, in all honesty, I listen to a little bit of everything, and I think that kind of gives me the diversity to try to attempt to rap on any beat, because I listen to everything. I try to, keep my horizons broad, because I don't really want to try to put myself in a box and a barrel.
Yeah.
Now, if I was gonna say my biggest influences probably would be, Pimp C, of course.
Yeah.
Big Pun was one of the biggest influences that I had, because of his diversity, his lyrical diversity.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, in all honesty, if you was growing up in the 90s and you was anywhere Southwest and West Coast, you was a Tupac fan.
True.
So, I mean, I think those three probably are the biggest influences that I could say contributed to the ideas of my music.
Yeah, because this dope content, man. And I noticed, like you said, you don't sound like anyone, and you definitely find some beats that are like, wait, I didn't know you could even rap to that, because I heard that song you did off of Rihanna's, and I'm like, wait, she was singing, but he just took it and started rapping to it,
Mm-hmm.
So I like that, man. So like, what's the thinking? Is that kind of the process when you're hearing the beats and you writing? Like, what's your process, man?
Well, in all honesty, I back then I used to try to create and concept and have processes behind it. I would, take an instrumental, used to go over it a whole bunch of times and write. But then, after years done passed, it just came and started flowing natural. I would hear something, and whatever first thing that popped up in my head, I would take it and just run down the street with it. And it causes for a lot of people to not really try to take what I'm saying or take the music seriously, because they think, you know, it's all parodies or comedies and stuff like that, when the reality of it is that it's probably some stuff that just really happened. And I was just right there in that moment, and then boom, here come a song up out of it.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, like on Dewey Cox, when he was sitting there arguing with his wife, and then she was like, don't make a song out of this, Dewey. And then Dewey just made a song, and it ended up being the biggest hit he ever had.
Yeah.
You know, that's the best music content. I always believe that if it's coming from life, you know, life imitating art usually puts out the best kind of music, you know.
Very dope. Now, can you attribute, I guess you could say, some of that, even how you got your 50 and 0 freestyle, it's being in your quick thoughts and things like that and developing that, you know. So that's something I can see that, man. Like, your music, like, when I listen to it and the thought process, I'm like, dude, it's funny, but it's a message in it a lot of times. Like you said, if you take a minute and really listen to what he's saying, you know. So now, kind of tapping on these projects, different things you have coming up, man, like, what's motivating you? I heard you mention there's a fund for the musicians, man. You talk about some movies. You're gonna be a comedian. So, like, what's first, man? What we looking, man?
Ideally, man, what I'm going to do and what I've been working on is trying to get further projects going with a lot of the artists that I'm dealing with, because, you know, when I was young and hungry and I didn't have no one really that was going completely out of their way to help me with the stuff that I had going on with music, except for my pop, you know. Joe Valentine Sr., you know, who recently passed not too long ago, was a big blues legend around here. And his whole ideal always to me was, you know, no matter what other ventures you do, always try to put, you know, people that, you know, putting their all into you before yourself. Make sure that, you know, you look out for artists, because at the end of the day, a lot of people wouldn't do it. They would use you to get to where they need to get, and then once they got where they need to get, they'll cut you loose. And I don't want that ever to be a stigma that comes along with me or anything that I've ever put my hands in. I always want to try to make sure that if everybody eat, everybody happy.
Correct. So
you got to keep everybody eating. And really, that's been my main drive as of lately. Now, I'm piecing together this, you know, this crusade project that I'm fixing to do, you know, the first, you know, working on the first chapter, which is called Skinesis, and, you know, trying to not rush through it, trying to actually kind of put it together and make it solvable, make the whole thing tell a story. Because I feel over time periods, those are really all the best albums in the world, that you can put an album in, like Riding Dirty, for instance.
Yeah.
And you can play it from one to the end. And you can listen to every song, and you can be like, man, this is like, you can visualize everything that's happening to them as the songs are playing.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm putting together my projects as of now.
Very dope. So now, when should we expect the Crusades? You know, I know.
Well, it's coming up in a couple of months. I want to make sure that it's accurate and it leads into the very next project after that, which is Bible 2. Yeah, that's right, Bible 2. And when Bible 2 come out, I know all the feathers that's gonna ruffle. So I want to have every project kind of foreshadowed and laid out, because I want, you know, in the event something, you know, God forbid, may happen, I want all of this stuff to be able to be still going in the event I may not.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like you said, that catalog, build that up so you have a lot of content people can always listen to and enjoy your music when you decide to, I guess, retire, if you want to call it that.
Right.
Yeah. Very dope, very dope. So now, you mentioned these projects. Like I said, I know you said it's like just your life. I guess that's really what you're talking about, you know what I mean? Real life stuff. So how do you decide, man, what to talk about, what not to talk about? Because I know, you know what I mean, some people don't want to put their life out there on display, I guess, you know,
But I mean, I look at it as, why would you be an entertainer if you didn't want people in your life? Because when you decide to put on that hat, people are going to be in your life. The higher up the totem pole you get, the more people are going to be in your life. And then you're going to come to a point where you open your curtain and TMZ standing out there with a camera and stuff, and this is what people really drive for. And no matter how many times they'll sit up there and be like, nah, I'm just doing this for the love of this, they, more than likely they're telling the fee because they want what everybody else wants, that love. I, on the other hand, it's funny, I usually come up with songs because I'm usually on a rant with somebody. And they've been said something to me and I'm ranting off on them and I'll sit up there and I'll be like, you know what, that's dope. I might have to use that. You know what I mean? And then it ends up becoming a song.
Yeah.
It ends up becoming a song and it's the craziest thing in the world. The song that I'll sit up there and do that to and create will be the song everybody likes. Not the one I focused on and want people to like. The one that was an insult and something like this along the lines. People be liking it. I'll be like, oh, okay. Well, let's run.
Exactly. Kind of like the hit I heard y'all had out, man, that Nacho Libre song. It was something silly, and when you listen to it, it's real playful and funny, but it's like just some serious messages. It's a little story in there, too, if you listen.
True story, funny. How it came about really was my brother's wife, Marnie, comes in there with a CD, and she's like, I want you to listen to this CD, da, da, da. And Nacho Libre was playing, the beat was playing, and she trying to put the CD in my face, and I'm sitting up here trying to write the song, and she keeps on coming in there bothering me, and I just slapped the CD in the air like this, get that corn out of my face, and that moment I stopped back and I looked and I was like, get that corn out of my face. And then it just like, and all of a sudden I just start piecing it together.
Yeah.
And Caddy come in and he like, where did this even come from? And I was like, oh man, you can thank Marnie and that wax CD she brought in here because I slapped it up in the air. Boom, here comes the song from that after that point. And because of that, to this day now, Marnie won't come in the house no more. She'll sit out in the car every time my brother come over because she's upset I slapped the cord out of her, get the cord out of my face. But it ended up becoming Nacho Libre, free cheese. That's what Nacho Libre means, free cheese, man. There you go, free cheese, man.
See, something stupid and something silly in real life, but it became a big hit, man.
Became a big hit.
See. Now, we're going to do this other video you have coming up called Perfect Plan. Now, I like it. It's it's an interesting story behind that, man. What concept, man, that whole thing?
So that came about, that Perfect Plan came about when I had this big argument one time with someone I was dating, and she called herself trying to read me. Yeah. And what ended up happening was she was like, oh, well, you just think you got it all understood and figured out, and you got the perfect plan, and this is that, and that is this, and this. And me, I'm listening to these old sample beats and stuff. I'm going through them and stuff, and I was like, oh, man, that just sounds like the argument I just had with her. So nice. I put this song together, and I was like, okay, well, since she wants to tell me I got the perfect plan, well, let me read off my resume to you. And basically, Perfect Plan was a part of like a resume, basically. Me running down what you don't know about me, ma'am, is A, B, C, this, that, and the third. And it ended up just solving. It just ended up working.
Nice. Sound like that, man. You like a few other cats I know that have been on here, and they're like, man, no, I really do talk about my life. Like you said, it could be in that moment something happens and it sparks the creativity, and it's like, man, I'm gonna put this in the song. Let me do this. Let me write this. And I think that's dope, man, because not many people can really express themselves like that, man. That's a good way to, I guess, anger management without paying a therapist.
Hey, boom. That part.
That's dope, bro. So we're going to jump into this video, man. Pope Sinatra's Perfect Plan, and we'll be right back with a few more things with Pope, man. So tight.
I put in my work, got a $10,000
Holy moly!
You think you got it all set up. You think you got the perfect plan to charm every girl you see and play with everyone that you can.
Visually drink me in, right there, catch freeze brain. Slow global warming's what they call in my drip game. Pick a top shelf, plus the selection of trees flame. Prepare your ear channels for the best in 512 slang. Pound the ass to remain before me, cause my rep of a homonger and slang of X bar, weed, and cane. All the squares hating on me really should be shamed. Shit they say about y'all, worry about your own name. Moves that I'm making, hope never reframes. Took a hell of a lot of losses, nothing for the regain. Every time I get out, I'ma have to retrain. She chose me over you cause you a lame. Lies and excuses like the Pope is the P-brain. My fault for digging you, I love a stripper like T-Pain. My style of mix of C-Pimp and Dirt McGurk Wu-Tang. My joint sisters with the Florida dog shoestrings.
You think you got it all set up. You think you got the
Coming down clean, I put in my work.
to charm every girl you see and play with everyone.
Coming down clean, I put in my work. Coming down clean, I put in my work.
MOD, money on delivery. That means when we deliver, pay me, bitches.
Gucci all on me. I'm pulling hoes are fantastic. They come in force, check out my suit. I'm looking good. I clean up well like I'm doing my chores. Sauce, come out my pores. So much sauce, I don't open no doors. You wanna know how? I teach a course. It's called How to Be More Like a Tortoise. Tortoise game. Woo, woo. Yeah, I'm so phenomenal. Yeah, I'm in your girl's abdominal. She's a teen, that's why I bang her on tables like dominoes. I don't need her, I got many mo's. You gotta count on your hands and your toes. I got many friends, many foes, but my circle's small like a Cheerio.
She wears Gucci, Mason Margiela, Polo, makes her get wetter. If she wearing Gucci, Mason Margiela, Polo, she's a trendsetter. It's like all of my life has been directed by hype. It's like all of my life has been directed by hype. It's like all of my life has been directed by hype. It's like all of my life has been directed by hype.
Hands swat at me, and then they holler out dumb fly, like swarming around a bum's eye. My hater can eat shit and die. 2 A's on my arms stand for Austin alumni. So quick to tell a bum by, like Pac did Bernie with his bum eye. Seems your girl wants a fun try. Said I'm not hard to come by. Loves to fucking get dumb high. Neck would leave a girl tongue tied. Seasoning hot like fresh fries. My music's on her thumb drive, so I tell her ass just to come by and run through it till she runs dry. Hear dry hate from young guys. Walk up like, what you wanna run by? Me won't help out a crumb guy. Either way it goes, somebody's son will die. Hope you brought the noodles and the rice, cause obviously I brought sauce. Sore thumb out of proportion, and what you living is the cause. Your girl like the way that I floss. Run through her holes, have back toss. Tins on lips like Mad Claus. Take a good look at that boss. This evening in Yves Saint Laurent. Paris Fashion Week now, just a ton. I get bread in France like a damn croissant. We can go and do whatever we want.
Gucci, Mason Margiela, Polo, makes her get wetter. If she wearing Gucci, Mason Margiela, Polo, she's a trendsetter. It's like all of my life has been directed by hype. It's like all of my life has been directed by hype. It's like all of my life has been directed by hype. It's like all of my life has been directed by hype.
Hey, welcome back. That's dope, man. I hope y'all like those videos. You just saw Perfect Plan as well as Hype Williams by MOD. His boys Money on Delivery. In the video you saw Poppy Cannon Mill. So Both of those are contenders, so if you like the video, screenshot it, tag him at his eminence, as well as magic_video_TV to get your vote on, man, or money on delivery. So, now, Hype Williams, man. Now, I'm familiar with who Hype is. I'm kind of telling my age a little bit because I remember his videos and the movie Belly and stuff he shot. Like, what was your motivation, man, your inspiration? I hear the hook talking about, like, your life is recorded by Hype Williams, man, or directed by him. What was...
See, when I was growing up, Hype Williams was the director. Like, if you had a Hype Williams video, your video was guaranteed to be live.
Yeah.
So, I guess the theme behind that was, like, you know, for a long sequence of time, man, it just felt like Hype Williams was shooting my life. Like, I was like, okay, well, this only happens on video. So I was like, bam. That's where the concept came from, you know. Ideally, we were just, like, you know, saying that we were always, you know, in the wave of whatever was going on. So I guess that kind of means, like, you know, the best of the best is always shooting what we doing, kind of following what we doing.
Nice. You know? So it's like you know, real life movie, like your life, man. Every time it seems like, man, this can't be real, but it's really happening. So very dope, man. So like, I like the concepts, man, for your videos, and it seems like you spend a little time on them, man. So like that's something that's big for you, man. Make sure all your visuals right and tight.
Well, I mean, besides the fact that I went to school for radio, television, and film, I always paid attention, and I mean, most people always pay attention to the most unique, you know, videos that come out for songs. And if you ever, you know, you look at the demographics, most of the unique videos be the songs that end up becoming hits. I mean, everybody kind of wasn't expecting Lil Nas X to come out in a pink cowboy shirt, but the moment he came out with a pink cowboy shirt, people called me like, "You see Lil Nas X in a pink cowboy shirt?" I was like, "Where?" Click, and then boom, he just got a view. Yeah. Well, you know, just that it's just those kind of things that you kind of put out there to kind of solidify people paying attention to the stuff that you got going on.
So now that's something I wanted to ask you as we kind of talking about, man, that like the industry. Is that something you see that's a part that's in the industry we're missing? How do you feel about today's kind of what's going on, man, in the music right now?
Well, I want to kind of be cautious about answering that question because most of the time when you answer a question in a certain way, people be like, "Oh man, he a bitter old rapper." No. I'm far from bitter.
No,
you know,
not at all.
You know, the thing is like, you know, now music rolls in trends. And, you know, I didn't realize that, you know, like back in the 80s, everything sounded like, you know, Prince and Devo Whippet and stuff like that. And then when it rolled into the 90s, everything was, you know, starting to conform with rap music and stuff like that. And even to the point to where, you know, boy bands and stuff were starting to put rap inside their stuff and making their stuff move a certain kind of way. Then, you know, the 2000s came, and that was the era of the bad guys and stuff like that, M and 50 and all of them stuff like that. So their music kind of consisted on that. But now it's on the trend of fun. Everything's got to be fun in this moment. Fun in this moment. Like, no worries about tomorrow or the future or nothing like that. It's all about fun for this moment. So with music and how you put stuff together, if you're able to roll with the times, you're able to roll with the times. You're able to do the things that they're able to do if you have the diversity to be able to do it. And because music is all about what's trending, it could be anything that can set off a trend.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of have these little things that we do on purpose when we go places just to see if people gonna do it, and they do.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's sad to say that, you know, individual thought when it comes down to, you know, your music selection and stuff like that is a very prominent thing. It is, but people just follow what they see everybody else doing a lot of time.
Yeah.
You know.
And I do remember that because we went through, I guess you could say, a rough period from like 2017 to 2018 where everybody was using the same producer, everybody was rapping on the beat the same, sounding the same, and it just became like an oversaturation. And it wasn't that we were like, man, it's bad rap. I never said y'all were bad, but do something to diversify, make yourself stick out, stand out in this game versus, okay, Gucci rap like this, I want to sound like Gucci. Migos do, I want to do what they're doing instead of, I'm going to listen to what they're doing, maybe use their beat, but I'm going to still stick to my style, I guess you could say, my type of delivery. And I hear that, man, in your stuff. So now, is that good, bad? What you think, man, industry? You think it's moving along the right way now?
Half and half, you know. Half of the, you know, I feel like half of the industry wants new. They want, you know, unique diversity, and it's the reason why artists like Ludacris and Missy Elliott can stop for whatever amount of time, like Andre 3000 can stop for whatever amount of time, and then just be like, okay, bam, I'm just gonna drop this single, and people gonna flock to it because they created that wave for themselves to where their stuff is so original that it's going to stand out, it's going to be unique here, and people are going to like it anyway because they have a consistency of showing that throughout the years and throughout time.
Nice. Yeah, I think that says a lot, and that's what I'm noticing, man. Like I said, through listening to your stuff, a lot of the guests that have been on the show, I hear some that it might be trendy, but I hear some where they can have longevity if they continue to deliver unique lyrics, have a great flow, you know, especially even in their visuals, you know, create something big. And I think that's something to do with branding, you know. Now, when it comes to you, how are you branding yourself to make sure you continue to have this longevity and be in the game? Because you've been in the game killing it, man, for about, what, 15, 20 years almost now?
About 17.
About 17. So how, and that goes, like you said, staying relevant. What do you do, man, to keep yourself relevant in the game, I guess?
Well, this is, I guess, my personal opinion on it, and reality-wise it's free game. Anybody can take this. Don't follow trends, set them. Don't be a part of what everybody else is doing, because what separates you from anybody else? I dealt with promoters at time that be like, well, if you sound like Wayne, well, I'm gonna come buy you when I go buy Wayne. You know, if you sound like this dude, well, I'm gonna pay for you when I want to go, or I can just go pay the extra money, go get this dude. When you should be the one that be like doing you, and then people come up to you and be like, man, whatever it is that you're doing, I want to incorporate that with what I got going on business-wise. How do we make this happen?
Yeah.
And that's generally how, you know, you keep yourself relevant in a time where people are sheep. You make yourself a shepherd. You make yourself the standout. You make yourself the master of ceremonies. You make yourself whatever. And this is not you being fake and you just lying about stuff. This is you showing, you know, your stardom, your star power. This is the reason why you should be buying my music, and this is the reason why you should be supporting me and following me and stuff like that, because I'm going to bring something unique to you that you're not going to get from anybody else.
Correct. It's kind of like what you just said about Wayne. When if I want to hear Wayne, and like we both know, he had his difficulties and he was out the scene for about 4 years, almost 5 years, and he can drop a project, and now he goes on tour. He's on tour with Blink 182 and doing stuff with new music. You know, and I think that shows his longevity, because nobody's gonna be like Wayne, nobody like Jeezy, you know, and they can take these 8 years sabbaticals and then come back and drop some new music on you.
You know, some of your people will be the hardest critics in the world, man, because some of your people will sit up there and tell you, oh, well, there's an age limit on this, or well, there's a this on this, or this on this. No criteria or no limits should hinder you if you're doing music. Yeah. Now, if you're just putting out songs to get a check and stuff like that, then by all means, all that criteria that they say about you is well justified.
Yeah.
But if you're actually taking the time to sit there and go, okay, well, I'm learning sheet music, and I'm learning the difference between the bridge and the chorus, and I'm learning the difference between this, and this, you're actually doing music.
Yeah.
So when you're doing music, you can sit up there and set any precedents you want to, at any age you want to, at any time you want to. You know, it's funny, I say this to, you know, Mario all the time, which is Mr. Mio. Shouts out to Mr. Mio Soul. Bro, as long as your voice works, you're gonna be making money till you hit the grave, because you can sing. You know, and you smoke cigarettes and all this other stuff and still got your voice how you had it when I first met you, bro, you're going to be able to do this for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And where everybody else will kind of be like, oh, well, you getting too old, this, that. And they don't realize that the person they're listening to is old enough to be their daddy. So they be like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
And their whole outlook on how things change.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They say you can't reinvent yourself. Well, tell that to 2 Chainz. They say you can't be a certain age and break into the industry. Well, tell that to 2 Chainz. Well, you can't do this. Well, tell that to 2 Chainz. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's all of the, they say you can't. There are people out there that contradict that they say you can't.
Yeah, because, like, even like you just said, man, like Big Boy and Outkast, I mean, yo, they still dropping stuff. They just dropped something hot here recently, man, that's killing the airwaves right now. So, as long as, like you said, it's about music, and I think that's what the difference is, man, and what you just said as far as being the trendsetter and just riding on the wave, riding the trend is if you take the time to study your craft, perfect it, work hard at it, you know what I mean, you can be relevant no matter what age. Like Jay-Z, almost 50, can still drop an album and go platinum, you know.
In time.
So, yo, sit tight, man. I like this conversation, man. We're going to jump into a quick video. This is one of our new contenders, Mr. Derek Gilbert. Don't worry. He's going to be on the show soon, man. But y'all like it, vote for him. We're right back. Magic Video, baby.
It was a long, cold night time when my heart started breaking, and I felt the rain storming in my soul. Give me wings to fly away. I can hear your voice say to follow me, son, you must obey. If you don't worry, my child, I'll show you I'm your savior, and you will know my name is Jesus the Christ. You up in yourself. If you don't worry, my child, I'll show you I'm your savior, and you will know my name is Jesus the Christ. Yes, you up in yourself. It took a while for me to know the direction I should go. Then he showed me love and how to walk in his word. Father, show me how to live, and I will gladly give everything in me. All I have to give is me. If you don't worry, my child, I'll show you I'm your savior, and you will know my name is Jesus the Christ. You up in yourself. If you don't worry, my child, I'll show you I'm your savior, and you will know my name is Jesus the Christ. You up in yourself. If you don't worry, my child, I'll show you I'm your savior, and you will know my name is Jesus the Christ. You up in yourself. If you don't worry, my child, I'll show you I'm your savior, and you will know my name is Jesus the Christ. You up in yourself.
When I pack my bags, grab my rags, let me holler, peace out. Little Rock to New York, come tell me what it's all about. Mission was $1 million, save them ghetto children. How can they keep it real when they ain't never been involved with sin? But since we have, we forgiven. Praying to a higher for this world that we live in. And now it's lyrical, spiritual, and political. Alpha and Omega, yes, that makes it biblical. First became last, last became first. Words of Yeshua broke every curse and brought change.
Yeah.
He brought change.
Brought change.
Yeah, yeah. Don't worry.
The Ugly Director.
hope y'all like those videos, man. Like I said, that was Derek Gilbert as well as Nick Garcia with the Beautiful Ones. Those are a couple of the contenders. So like I said, man, go get your vote on, tag us, man. Vote for these people. Voting ends on October the 31st. We're going to tally all the votes at that point and decide who's going to get this Local Artist of the Year trophy, man. So I'm still joined by my guy, Mr. Pope Sinatra. You know, he's giving y'all a little game, a lot of game, you know. And we want to kind of continue the conversation, man, a little bit, what we were talking about, like as far as the industry and just making sure you stay original, keep your originality, man, and don't get lost in the shuffle. Because I think that's what happens a lot of times. And then sometimes you can get discouraged, man, because the medias and the outlets aren't always quick to play your music on their outlets, man. So how do you, I guess, fight through that? Keep, like I said, man, keep going and stay relevant in this game, man.
Well, you know, because you got to learn the business of it, and it is a business. And when you learn the business, it kind of puts you in the perspective of knowing how to effectively move. You know, in the business of music, man, especially now because rap is such a dominant force, man, there's like 50,000 record labels trying to jump off a year.
Yeah.
A year. That's not considering all the other artists, but I mean literally 50,000 record labels jumping off a year. So you have so many people that are creating so much different content and bringing in so much different content that it's hard to filter, you know, what the sound that you're looking for could be, because the sound, if it doesn't sonically match, you know, what Clear Channel is playing or what this station is playing or what this station is playing, they kind of look past it up until the point where the big wigs of entertainment are like, okay, that's a hit. You need to be playing this. And then that's when they'll go, okay, well, it don't match sonically, but we'll make it fit.
Yeah.
You know, you got to start learning that, you know, if you want this to be employment, you have to handle it like a job.
Okay.
You know, if you have any intent on trying to gain anything financial, whether you're in the limelight or whether you just ghostwrite, you know, you have to take it as a job. If you don't clock in at work on the right time, you get a pink slip, then you fired. You know, you have to take it in that same enlightenment. And if you don't take it in that same enlightenment, you're going to be stagnant. And ain't nothing in, you know, like stagnant water gets a smell to it, you know, it starts to get polluted, it starts to get bad. And then that's when everybody starts to get bitter and then starts to get all that, oh man, well, it ain't never done nothing for me, so I quit. And then this, that, and the third. When you could have been more proactive with learning the business of this and then helping yourself outside of you trying to be the star. Because that's usually what ends up happening with a lot of people. They want to be the star and they'll come up with this hit rather than going, okay, I need to network, I need to learn the ins and outs, I need to be an effective, you know, power player in the industry rather than somebody that's always in the limelight trying to get everybody to, you know, buy everything that they're doing and do everything that they're doing.
True. I like that. Yeah, because it's kind of been my approach, and I know a few other people, they tend to approach it like that. Like, let's learn a lot more, you know, and learn about what we want to get ourselves into, you know what I mean? Because in the other job, you have a training class, and they teach you what they want you to do, so kind of approach it in the same light in the industry, man. You want to be an artist, whatever you're doing, learn about it, you know? So before we run out of time today, man, I want to tap real quick, man, into this foundation you talked about, man, about a scholarship for the kids and different people that actually want to pursue music on a professional and collegiate level, if you don't mind.
My older brother, man, came up with the Valentine Fund, and that's what it's called. And he did it because he was like, well, I love music, but I don't want to play music all day. I don't want to be dealing with all of everything that comes with it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know you love music, and he's like, you're probably one of the only people that of this family line that chases it and does it to the magnitude of where Pop was doing it. And he decided that, you know, so many times he done went down on 6th Street and went to go watch, him and his wife would go watch bands play, and he would come back and he would be like, man, like, that drummer was good, but he wasn't, I could have got up there and did that. And then he was like, well, that guitars was dope, but I could have got up there and did that. And then he sat up there and he literally came up with the concept and idea like, okay, well, you know what? I want to give an opportunity to people who want to be the next Hendrix or the next Freddie Mercury, the next whoever. And he wanted Pop's legacy to kind of reflect that. And he decided, well, instead of taking this money and, dumping it all into this for me and dumping it all into this for all these other different outlets and venues, he decided to take it upon himself to make an opportunity for kids that, love the music but don't financially have the way to be able to pursue higher education when it comes to it. And involve themselves into music on another level to where they can network and start to branch into this part of life because they want to do it for the rest of their lives.
Nice.
So he took a big chunk of money and he put it in this fund, and the people who apply for the scholarships, he tries to make it to where they can all, get pieces of this. He doesn't try to play favorites to where, this was the only person that sent it in at this time, so this is the person that gets all of this. No, he spreads, and he's been actively trying to get people to be involved with it more.
And what's it called again?
The Valentine Fund.
Valentine Fund,
right.
Okay.
We are setting up websites and setting up all the other stuff for the processes for people to have public access to it.
Okay.
But, as of right now, it's been just generally word of mouth. And I've generally been, kind of talking back and forth with people and kind of letting them know what's going on, and then kind of seeing their resumes and seeing what they got going on for themselves to see if they even qualify for what the Valentine Fund is for.
So y'all make sure y'all follow him, man, and his eminence, because I know when he gets more info, he's going to drop it on you. So y'all make sure you can keep up with it, and, if you know some kids, apply. Tell them about it, man, because they only give band scholarships, but we know a lot of cats that play music and they don't necessarily want to play or can play in a band, but they have that dream and that desire to do music, man. So I want to thank you, man, for coming in and talking to me today. As always, man, it was a great pleasure, man.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank y'all for having me.
And I hope everybody has enjoyed the show this week. Like I said, all these videos you've seen are contenders, so make sure you guys do get your votes in at magic_video_TV on Instagram. Tag the site, tag the artist, and that account is your vote, man. Enjoy these last couple videos, man. Take us home. We'll see you guys next week. Magic Video.
Double cup, pull me up, show me love, show me up. Double cup, pull me up, show me love, or show me up. Double cup, pull me up, show me love, or show me up. Double cup, pull me up, show me love, or show me up. Double stuff, roll tight, got the lean with the Fanta. Chopper turn the gangster to a dancer. Take your team hostage, no ransom. Dogs hating on me cause I'm handsome. Throw a quick dab, dip off in the Lancer. Mitts ambitious, you never had look, I'm vicious with a vision. Why you sad? If you would've fixed, you would've been good lad. I'm just floating, counting, bumping currency. 22, glad no one murdered me. Lost amigos to this foolery. While my amigos don't take clues from me. Peace like Buddha see, slice like who you see. We got different views, I feel the ocean breeze. She's a token, homies going loco. Dropping Zans like a cheat code. Chico brought Pico, now we lit. These haters, they nasty, they poppin' like zits. Always on missions, the gold I do get. I want the cash and it all I'm gon' spend. Then make it back, then gon' do it again. Lean on my team and they leaning on me. Let out the beast, they won't never defeat. Leave you in pieces, look good on the street. Capiche? Double cup, pull me up, show me love, or show me up. Double cup, pull me up, show me love, or show me up. Double cup, pull me up, show me love, or show me up. Double cup, pull me up, show me love, or show me up. Blunts double stuff like an Oreo, ballin' like I'm Horrido for the glory hole. I give and go, then get and go. Or pull up, make a horror show. Tell them sorry for the wait. I've been really trying to get it. I ain't got no time to waste. In the trap, making plays, applying pressure to the face. Hit the glory blunt, then I'm trapping out in space. In my own zone, you can never take me out my lane. Get it back double, all in, no huddle. Watch it all grow from my purple herb shuttles. So lit, geeked up, feeling like Urkel. It irks me when them swishers don't stick. Tree ain't lit, I ain't tryna waste my ish. Got a lot of goals, really tryna get rich. Oh, you probably snitch, I should really hit a lick. Have my homies hit a blitz, me go savage for the chips. Out in Zanistan, tryna be the man. Double cups, droppers, uppers, ends. Never weak like a king I am. Flexing hard, but they never try. Got a group of angels watching from outside. For the love, not them dollar signs. Grinding hard, I say you should try. Flex too hard, end up in the sky. Double cup, pull me up. Show me love, show me up. Double cup, pull me up. Show me love, or show me up. Double cup, pull me up. Show me love, or show me up. Double cup.